This is the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Kick back and hang with your hosts, Kayode, Lewis, and Joel. Let's mark out.
Yes, y'all. What's good, everybody? Your boy, Kayode, the producer, joined by none other than Joel. This is episode 93, and yes, we are missing our brother at arms, the one and only, the administrator himself, Lewis. We're missing him. He's on assignment as we speak. But he'll be back. But we're holding it down this week.
We're missing him, but we also are a little hyped that we get to record so early.
This is hype. As you can see, it's a little light outside.
We got daylight still. This is crazy. Unheard of.
This is like a treat. This is to do it this early. Yeah. The level of energy is higher. You're not like looking at the clock like, damn, if I go to sleep if we stop the podcast right now, I could get like 7 hours.
Yeah. For sure.
You're thinking all of that, right? But we love you, Lewis. We love you. But we might have to push this time up a little bit, baby. We might have to go up a little bit. But anyway, welcome to the show. This is episode 93, y'all, of On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. As you can see, I'm in my Knicks garb. This is Thursday. Right now, the Knicks are fighting for their lives right now, Joel. Fighting.
Yeah, man. I just hope it doesn't happen like last week where we jinxed them. In the middle of the episode, we basically jinxed them.
Man, listen, I've been getting messages saying, yo, you jinxed my team. Yeah. You got no business wearing the hat.
Shout out to a friend of the show, Gio, because he was pissed at us on YouTube.
Gio was pissed, man. He said, y'all jinxed everything. It's your fault. Everything. But nah, man, listen, we got the Knicks going on. We hope for a good outcome. But I'll tell you what was a good outcome, Joel. That Double or Nothing AEW's pay-per-view this past Sunday ran approximately 50 hours. Let's get into it. Your boy called it at the Okada Speedball match. Mm-hmm. When this match was made, Joel,
yes,
I said it's mad random, but I didn't know that they were going to put on a match like that. My respect for Speedball has skyrocketed. I've never seen him until this. I've heard his name. I've never seen him wrestle. And of course, Okada's Okada, but he's been kind of cruising on this AEW run of his. Sure. But this match kind of sparked something in him. I don't know if maybe you might be getting something different. But this match was dope, Joel. I think
the thing with Okada now is he's almost in his like Shinsuke Nakamura era, right? Like he's just like, I'm just gonna chill, cash my last wrestling check, probably full-time contract, and then maybe his next contract, wherever he ends up landing, is probably gonna be very minimal dates, something like that. So I feel like he's in that path. But the good thing about that is that when it's time for him to deliver, he fucking delivers, bro. That match was incredible. The style matchup, the style clash of like someone who does mostly kicks versus someone who's just like a great overall wrestler was like so cool to see. Like it was very like, it almost reminded me of like an old school like UFC match or something. Like back in the day when UFC had like no rules and they would put like a fat guy versus a skinny karate guy. Like, that's almost what it reminded me of. But it was just intense. Look at this picture right here. Like Okada, the intensity that he brought to this match is almost like you said. Mike Bailey woke him up with those educated feet of his, as Michael Cole would have said.
Yeah. Listen, man, I gotta tell you, Speedball does something real special in the ring. Mm-hmm. He makes everything look believable.
Yeah.
Like the kicks, the punches, he lands everything and everything looks pretty solid. Like his opponent is getting it.
Yeah.
And this match was great with that.
I do wonder how safe of a worker Mike Bailey is, because there's some of his moves that I'm like, there's no way you could take that safely. Like, there's that move that he does where he does his little thing and then he flips and just straight up knees into your chest.
Yeah.
I'm like, how does anyone take that safely? Like that looks like it hurts. It looks very painful to take. So shout out to Okada for taking that.
You're right. Okada took that.
Yeah.
And that one, you're right. And that was one of the moves where I was like, that didn't look like it landed well.
But that's how he always lands it. So I'm just like, either he
Exactly.
found a way to safely land that move, or he's just straight up hurting everybody that he wrestles.
Maybe there's a way to control your weight coming down on somebody. I don't know.
Yeah, that's true. I'm not a
I
wrestler.
don't know.
But
He's a wrestler. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
I hope
it's magic, whatever it is, because that shit
it is
looks
magic.
intense.
Yes. Now, Joel, listen. You watched all of
I watched
Double
all
or Nothing.
60 hours of Double or Nothing,
Right.
Pre-show included.
Pre-show,
Yeah.
man. It was a marathon.
I had a crazy weekend of wrestling. My wife was out of town, so I literally had nothing to do but watch wrestling and enjoy some libations. So
yes,
I was just kicked back, had a nice drink, and I just was like, you know what? I'm going to watch the pre-show. I'm going to even watch the pre-show. And I watched from beginning all the way to the end. I didn't have too much complaints about the time because it was a holiday weekend.
Right.
If this was a regular Sunday and they went past midnight, I don't know if I would have been able to watch that main event. Like
your boy, Joel, your boy's eyes closed for maybe what I thought was 5 minutes. Woke up, the screen was black. Show was over. I missed the whole match.
You even know who the winner was.
Man, I had to watch clips, man. I was pissed. I missed the whole match.
Damn.
And I blame Tony Khan for this. People keep commenting and they be like, the shows are too long, bro.
Yeah.
Just cut it down a little. Don't mess up the match quantity. You just cut down some of the timing also. Man, I was struggling, Joe.
There was a lot of matches too that could have been cut off. Like we didn't need FTR versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia on this card. That could have been a collision match, or that could have been a special Dynamite or something like that. We didn't need that in a pay-per-view, and we also didn't need Adam Cole and
Paragon. Paragon versus
Don Callis family. That could have been on
good match, but
could have been on Collision. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like I said, since it was a holiday weekend, I don't have too many complaints about how long it went. But if this was a regular weekend and you're trying to run a 5+ hour show when you include the pre-show and everything, that's a lot, man. That's a lot of wrestling.
It's a lot of wrestling
on a Sunday. If it was Saturday, even if you start the show earlier, if you're gonna do 5 hours.
Yeah.
Start it at 7, start it at 6, make it some early graps.
Well, listen, the overall, Joel, if you had to give we'll jump into some match quality, whatnot. If you had to give this pay-per-view a grade, where would you land at? Because I can't grade it properly because I didn't see half the matches. But where would you place it?
I think I land near a B+ A-. And it's just because it was almost a perfect pay-per-view. It's just those little matches that I could have done without, just kind of bring it down a little bit. But besides that, like the incredible matches on the show, the ones that you ended up missing because you tuned in a little late. Yeah. But Mercedes versus Jamie Hayter, one of the best women's matches of the year.
Really?
Really good match.
I like Jamie. I was questioning Jamie for a minute, her return.
Yeah.
But you said it was solid.
Yeah, man. Honestly, we got to have a conversation about Mercedes, man. Like maybe not this episode, maybe when we do our top 10 women.
That's coming. Stay tuned for that. That's coming.
Spoiler alert, Mercedes is probably my number 1 of all time.
Whoa.
She is incredible. This AEW New Japan indie run that she's done since she's left WWE, she hasn't had a bad match. Like you could go through every AEW match she's had. Maybe the worst match she probably had in AEW was probably against Britt Baker, and I would blame Britt Baker for that. Probably
blame Britt 100%.
Yeah. So if you take away that match, she basically has had a perfect run since she's left WWE. Her matches are incredible. Yes, character-wise, she's still not the best on the mic. Yeah, she has gotten a lot better, I would say, but still a little shaky. But man, she just knows how to deliver in that ring, man. The bell rings, and she is one of the top talents in the world. I wouldn't even say woman. I think she's one of the top talents in the whole wrestling industry. She is incredible in the ring. She somehow finds a way to innovate constantly. Like she'll do something new every match. And then what I really like about her is if you watch all of her matches, she learns in her matches from her previous matches, and she kind of goes out of her way to show that she's doing that, which is really cool. It's like a really like almost Bryan Danielson type of thinking when it comes to wrestling. And I see that. And I just want to give, actually, this is my show and love segment right here.
This is show and love.
This is my show and love right now. Mercedes, you deserve all the love in the world. You've been crushing it. And let's just say, girl, you looking hella fine lately.
Spot on. Spot
hella
on.
fine lately, girl.
Yeah, well, listen, you know what? We're gonna give it to her. We're gonna show her some love. This is for Mercedes Mone, the show and love segment. The impromptu showing love segment to Mercedes Mone. I gotta agree with you. I'm just still not impressed with the mic stuff. I think for such a talent like her, I was just expecting the mic would be superior by now, like ridiculous. I just still feels like she's still thinking about it. She's still in her head. I don't know. It just doesn't sound natural when it comes out. But it's not terrible. It's just not great. It's like right in the middle for me. Everything else, though, I mean, she looks like a superstar. Mm-hmm. The look, the belts, the everything, the music. I mean, she looks like a star. So she's got everything. And in the ring, she's very good. She makes everyone look very, very good. And like you said, that Britt Baker, she just couldn't save. She couldn't save Britt. Britt couldn't save Britt herself.
So there's no coincidence that we haven't seen Britt Baker since, basically. So I think Tony Khan has kind of put his chips into either you could work or you can't, and if you can't, you could be out the door. That's honestly what it seems like. And maybe Britt Baker might have just gotten surpassed in her time away, and that's okay.
She probably did, bro. And she just can't work. I'm sorry. Mercedes tried everything to make her look credible. And speaking of Britt, which is a tangent, Britt's best match was that hardcore match, which she was bleeding all over the place.
Thunder Rosa match.
Against Thunder Rosa. Yeah. That was the best match. Mm-hmm. Since then, nothing. Yeah. Absolutely.
She's someone that would benefit so much from the PC. So if she does end up going that way and ends up in NXT, honestly, that's probably the best career move for her.
Probably.
I think she would really benefit. She has star power, Britt Baker.
Yes.
But she does need like a little bit of tuning in the ring, a little bit of tuning character-wise, and then she'll probably be a superstar. If they put her in NXT today, she'd be the biggest woman wrestler there, especially after everything else that happened this weekend.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. Joel, I wanted to get into this Anarchy in the Arena match, bro.
Incredible.
I think this might have been the best one ever.
Yes.
The Young Bucks dressed up as the Founding Fathers.
Incredible troll.
I popped so hard.
So good.
And they wrestled in this all night. It's amazing. Like it was Young Bucks, say whatever you want. They are still solid as ever in the ring. No one could touch them in that, and no one could say anything about that. The stuff they do is innovative. They work well with others in terms of giving and taking. Young Bucks are dope, right? But it was wild, bro. It was nuts. I enjoyed this match so much, and it was good placement. Now this match could have easily overshadowed that main event.
Yeah, but
I don't think it did. From what I heard, because I didn't see all of it, but I heard that the main event held up.
Yeah,
and the Anarchy in the arena match was good enough where it didn't completely overshadow what we saw in that main event. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I agree with you, man. This is definitely the best Anarchy in the arena match so far. Just everything, like you said, the Founding Fathers bit was an incredible way to start the match. Then you had the music changes.
Yes.
The bodies hit the floor. Oh man.
My God.
I was marking out at home. I was like, this is awesome. The crowd in unison chanting along with the song. They just, you know what it is like. And Lewis said it best in our group chat. He said, for a company that's mostly about wrestling, this is like their one thing of the year where they kind of just get to be sports entertainment, and they crush it every single time. Like this is the most sports entertainment match that AEW.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like AEW usually is straight up wrestling grabs. You know, you do have your occasional Texas death match or cage match, but for the most part, it's just this is where the best wrestle.
Yeah.
This match though is like whatever. Let's throw all of that away and let's just have fun. Let's do the most wild things that we could think of. Let's see how far we could take this without getting too crazy. Like in the past, we've seen fire. We've seen all types of things. We've seen Darby hanging from the ceiling for like 10 minutes straight, upside down with his blood rushing to his head. Like they are crazy. They all seem to love being crazy. Swerve killed this match. The staple gun spot, stapling his tongue. God. He got a staple gun to the tongue. Like, come on, what are we doing? Like, but it's the most entertaining shit. And you know what I was thinking while I was watching this? This is the perfect match to show a non-wrestling fan to be like, and I think, it might be a little too crazy for some. It might be a little too hardcore, but this kind of just embodies like, this is why we find it fun.
Yeah.
We don't have to take it serious all the time. Sometimes we do as fans. We're like, oh man, why isn't this guy champion? Whatever, you know, all our little fantasy booking and feedback that we have. But this match just lets you let go of all of that and just enjoy what you're watching. It's literally like watching like a Fast and the Furious movie or something where you can just shut your brain off. You don't really have to care about the plot. Things might not make sense, but whatever. It's just fun. And we're going to have the whole crowd interact. Actually, I heard from a friend that this was more fun than WrestleMania. They were at both shows.
Jeez.
They were at Vegas for WrestleMania and they were at this. And
Double or Nothing was more fun than WrestleMania.
And the big reason was because of this match, because of the crowd entertainment, the crowd interaction. You got the wrestlers fighting through the crowds. You got everyone involved, chanting, screaming, singing. You don't get that at WrestleMania anymore because it's such a big spectacle. Right. This is a smaller arena, so we're gonna be able to actually interact with them. You might have Samoa Joe just walk past you while you're in the crowd. Like this is it's an exciting and enticing thing for fans to want to go and see. So like this is honestly they stumbled on a gold mine when it comes to Anarchy in the Arena, because like this is something that if Double or Nothing was in my area, I would have to go just because of that experience. Just seeing that match, I'm like, I need to be there for the next one. If it's anywhere near where I'm at, I'm gonna be there. Like that's the type of thing that I'm thinking.
Damn, I agree with you, man. I agree with you. The Anarchy in the Arena, man. I was marking out to everything they were doing. I was loving it. Everything they were doing. The music and I forgot that they play music as they're
Yeah, and you know what I love about that too?
It's great.
I love that after a while they know like, okay, this is too much. We need to cut it off. It's been repeating. So they always do like some little spot so I think for this one, they Swerve got thrown into like a speaker and then the music.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
it's like, obviously that speaker is not the one playing the music for the arena, but that's the kayfabe reasoning. Like, okay, the music stopped now because the speaker blew up. Like, I love that.
That's so smart. Though,
yeah, it's like silly, smart, stupid shit. I love you. Like that's what I could say about Anarchy in the Arena.
Yo, give it up for AEW. Listen. AEW's been on a hot streak lately. The stories are starting to come in. What they're doing with Hangman, Ospreay, and Swerve is pure genius.
Yes.
And the promo that they had on this past Dynamite was excellent.
Yes, sir.
We don't know where it's going. We don't know if Hangman's even going to make it to All In. He probably will, but who knows? Yeah. This is kind of what I like though about AEW is that right now is that everyone kind of wants to be in the main event. Ospreay is signing off on Hangman, but not your boy Swerve.
Yeah.
Will Swerve do something to cause Hangman not to make it?
Man, I might have to do a second Show Some Love right now.
You might.
Because we all have to acknowledge as wrestling fans that this Hangman Swerve story is one of the best stories ever told in wrestling. Ooh. It has expanded so long.
Hot take. That's a hot take.
This story started because if you remember originally, Swerve wanted Hangman's spot. That was his first promo against Hangman. He told him, "You've gotten world titles, tag team titles. You dropped the ball." Like he told him all this stuff. If I had it, I would have been the first Black AEW world champion. Mm-hmm. That was the big like mic drop moment. Since that was how many years ago at this point? I think that was like 2 years ago.
At least two.
Point.
Yeah.
Since then, Swerve has become the first Black world champion, lost that world champion due to Hangman at All In. And it's still going on now. Since then, and think about all the wrestlers who've been intertwined to this story. Bryan Danielson was the one to defeat Swerve to win the world championship, which led to the Jon Moxley storyline that's happening right now. And then you also have Christopher Daniels getting his retirement due to Hangman being so angry about all of this Swerve stuff. So like there's all these cool things happening and it's all revolving around these two guys. It's almost like, yeah, you might not be the world champions right now, but you are the two main characters of the show. And whatever happens revolves around you. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what they're telling. And even Ospreay now. Ospreay, we're all like ready for Ospreay to be crowned as the next guy. But even him is like, you know what? This is the guy. Hangman is the guy. And like, that's such a strong promo. We never see that in wrestling. We never see someone give up and be like, no, you know what? It's your turn.
Yeah. Like one top guy giving up to another top layer.
Yeah. Like this is a very nuanced story like that I feel like hasn't been told in wrestling. And hopefully some of our fans could correct me. Maybe there's some like old school, I don't know, freaking 80s stuff or something, some old school Jim Crockett or something that might, some Magnum TA or some shit.
Magnum
TA. Someone's going to come out the woodworks and be like, well, you never watched Roddy Piper and something. And I'll be like, you're right. But this story, man, and in the modern era, the way that they're telling it is beautiful. Now everything's intertwined. And the good thing that AEW has done lately is they're not forgetting about little things. So even on this past week episode of Dynamite, when Swerve came out to confront Hangman, he rolled the videotape of the Young Bucks. I'm like, whoa, AEW's rolling videotape? They never do that.
Video packages.
I'm like, wait a minute. Who kidnapped TK? And they rolled the video package. It makes sense. Swerve doesn't trust Hangman because the Bucks are saying that they did this for him. It's a very nuanced story. It's intertwining every main top guy in the company, basically, even the girls too. You got Willow involved, you got Marina involved. Like this is a really cool storyline, and I feel like at the end of it, everyone's going to be elevated. And shout out to Moxley as well, because he's the one 100%. holding the belt. But just whatever AEW's been doing since the Continental Classic, they just been on the strong roll of just knocking it out the park. And then what's really good and different from previous years is they're actually really focusing on story.
Yes.
Which is different. And it might not be the stories that we're used to. Like, there's no drawn out 30-minute promo explaining everything like you would see on a Monday Night Raw. But if you're paying attention, man, they're giving you like all these little things and these little gems that are just like, oh shit, that's so cool. Like you just start picking up on little things. And it's like, I love that type of thing. It's like when you're like watching a Marvel movie and you see like Easter eggs for like the next villain that might be showing up and things like that. Like I love that type of storytelling. I love what they're doing, and just shout out to everyone involved in this story. Yeah,
man, AEW's killing it right now. They're doing their thing. All In, they're gearing up for All In. They're starting some story right now. Mercedes and Toni Storm finally had their in-ring face to face, and that was good. Mm-hmm. They had a little dance off. Toni by far is her character and what she's doing is the best in the women's wrestling realm right now.
Yeah, I got a semi hot take about Toni Storm.
Oh, let's get to it. Let's get to the hot take.
All right, Toni Storm right now is the best world champion in all of professional wrestling. Men and women included.
The best world champion right now
in all of professional
all of wrestling. I can't disagree with that.
Yeah, think about it.
Can't disagree with that.
If I'm focusing mostly on the two major American promotions. We got John Moxley, who's he's busy with the briefcase. I don't even count that as him being a champion right now. We got John Cena, who's we already know how we feel about his title run so far. You got Jey Uso, for who likes him, whatever, sure. But Toni Storm, character-wise, is leagues above Jey Uso.
Leagues.
And then from the women on the WWE side, you got who's the champions? Io, who's kind of just since WrestleMania has kind of just been.
Io's still the wait, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Wow.
She's kind of just been floating since WrestleMania, and then got,
I didn't remember Io was the champ.
And then on the SmackDown side, you got Tiffy, who's also kind of just been floating since WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So it's like,
you're right.
In my opinion, if we're just talking about the two major North American promotions, Toni Storm is leagues above any other world champion. I don't even know if that's that much of a hot take.
I don't even think it's a hot take. I think that's just fact. You can't disagree with that Toni Storm is the hottest champion. She's the hottest champion right now in both of the two North American bigger wrestling companies. You're right. I can't disagree with that. But I want to go back to Double or Nothing, get your thoughts on the main event. And what did you think of it, Joel? Like, did you think it delivered? Did you think it lived up to the hype, the story they were telling? These two gentlemen right here battled it out to the point where the Anarchy in the arena match did not overshadow the main event. Joel, what was your thoughts, man?
This match was incredible, man. I know you didn't get to watch it. Definitely, I suggest you seek it out and watch it. It was a really good match. These two, for the first time ever, the meeting in a singles match, they had perfect chemistry. They really killed it. And just think about it, like they main evented over Anarchy in the arena, and there was no title on the line. It was just the Owen Hart tournament. Like it wasn't a main event. It wasn't a world title. Like that says something. Like Tony Khan knew what these two guys were going to go out there and do, and they delivered. Yeah, the match ended late because it was like past midnight, so that might have been a miscue on their part to end the match so late. But honestly, the chemistry was incredible, and then the story they told in the match was really good, man. And there was a point that I wanted to highlight that was like really cool. It was towards the end of the match, Ospreay goes for the one-winged angel. Kenny Omega's finisher move, and Hangman gets out of it, and then Hangman hits Swerve's finishing moves. What's it called? Big pressure, the move that he does, and like the crowd pops because everyone realizes like, yo, he just used his rival's biggest move in a match that has like no, and like the announcers even popped. It was like such a cool moment. I was like, holy, like even I was marking out at home like, yo, he just did Swerve's move. I'm like, yo, they tied Swerve into this too. So I'm popping at home, and then like Hangman ends up getting the win at the end of it all, and it was just like a great segment. And this whole time I've been on the Ospreay train. I'm like, yeah, Ospreay needs to be the guy. It makes sense. Let's crown a new guy. As soon as Hangman won, I was like, you know what? I'm good with Hangman. Like, I didn't even care. I wasn't even upset because, the way the crowd popped, everybody got excited. And it really made me realize, like, okay, there's a story here. There's multiple stories that they could tell here. We could tell the story of Will Ospreay being crowned as a new guy, or we could tell this redemption story of Hangman Adam Page, starting all the way to when he first lost the title to CM Punk. And it's almost like they're telling a story without being able to say what it is. But it's basically like you lost track. You lost to somebody who basically almost damaged the whole company. Like it's almost like Hangman is feeling guilty for what might have happened if CM Punk destroyed the company basically on his way out, which almost happened, right? So it's like it's almost like he's trying to correct the timeline in like a second Marvel reference of the episode, but he's trying to correct the timeline back to a place where he was the champion. He never lost that title to CM Punk, and maybe the biggest controversy that happened in AEW never happens. So that's a whole new story that I wasn't even really thinking of, and now I'm like, holy shit! If he ends up winning that title, he's now the guy who saved AEW once again. So it's like, hey, there's multiple stories that be told. I don't know where it's going. I could see Mox retaining at All In at this point too. It's just an exciting time. It's a very exciting time for AEW.
Some people are saying that Mox could retain. I'm thinking that the moment that Will Ospreay wins that title is going to be huge. I thought it was going to be at Double or Nothing where we saw Will Ospreay move on to challenge Moxley, but now the way they're explaining it, the way the crowd is reacting to Hangman, the story behind Hangman, it almost makes sense. Do you think we get swerved at any point? Do you think they make this a 3-way? Do you think Hangman doesn't make it to the main event? Like Are we or is this where Tony's going with it?
I think this is where we're going. I could see them maybe making it like a like a death match or something like that, some type of stipulation, since it is Mox and Hangman, and these guys both like love being in those type of matches.
Yeah.
So I could see them doing it, and it is in Texas as well. So Texas death match kind of makes sense, but I don't think they add a Ospreay to the match or Swerve to the match. I think it's going to be straight up 1-on-1, but we will probably see a lot of shenanigans in that match. There's going to be all types of run-ins, all types of. I'm expecting a WrestleMania 40 type level of run-ins where we might see Sting. Sting might come out the
Sting
rafters.
might go.
We might see Danielson show up and hit a knee. You might see Darby do a coffin drop off the top of Mount Everest or something. So I'm expecting a lot of run-ins during this match on both sides. We're gonna see a bunch of Death Riders guys. You're gonna see a bunch of the babyface guys. I'm expecting all of that. It's almost like if Ospreay won, I would have been like, oh, guarantee Ospreay's winning the championship. Now I'm like, it could go either way, which is
could go either way.
For me, it's better as a fan because now I'm going into it like, okay, I don't know what's gonna happen here, but I'm excited. If it was the other way around, Ospreay, I would have expected Ospreay to win to the point that if he would have lost, I would have been like, damn, AEW fucked up. Right. They should have crowned him. So now it's kind of giving them that leeway that if they want to continue this mock story, it kind of makes sense now. Hangman's been champion already. It's not a big deal if he doesn't win the championship. So it's like, okay, if you want to continue this mock story and maybe wait for Darby or whatever the plan might be, I understand it. So we'll see what happens, but I'm excited just to see. It's a match we've seen before too, Mox versus Hangman, which is if you're going to the event like Lewis, he might not be as excited anymore because it's a match we've seen, but I guarantee they're gonna deliver. Like Hangman always delivers, Mox always delivers on big matches like this. It's gonna be an incredible show.
Yeah, the match is gonna be fine. I'm just trying to figure out, do they have enough juice behind it to make it interesting up until All In? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's July 12th. It's not even June yet. We're so. How does AEW sustain a story like this where we'll become invested, like you said, even though we've seen the match?
Yeah.
Can the fans get behind this again with a different story behind it? We'll have to see how AEW tells the story. We got on WWE because they had a long wait to WrestleMania, and the story was kind of like, okay. This is you knew they had nothing left. They were just kind of buying time. I just wonder how AEW gets there. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But we shall see. Anything else about Double or Nothing before we move on? We spent a lot of time on AEW, which is fine. They had a big week.
One last thing I would say is shout out to Ricochet and Mark Briscoe for the stretcher match. That match was also another incredible highlight. Like, Mark Briscoe is crazy motherfucker, man. Like, he's crazy, bro. He's Mick Foley on crack, basically. like homie throws his body on the line. He was gushing blood in this match. It was crazy. Shout out to him for growing the mohawk too, so he wouldn't be bald. Great spot, hilarious work right there to not be bald against the bald guy. And Ricochet, man, another guy who deserves some love. Absolutely killing it.
Yeah, he's been killing.
And he ended up getting the victory too. So shout out to Ricochet, man. It was a great match.
This seems like the most engaged and less stressed Ricochet has ever been in wrestling in for a while.
It looks like he's having fun out there.
Looks like he's having fun. Looks like he's just kind of going with it. Doesn't look like there's a ton of pressure to be something that's not natural, or something that is just too commercial and just whack, right? Like WWE try to package him as this high flying superhero guy, and now he's just this. And you know what's interesting though? I don't know if you caught it, Joe. On this past Dynamite, he mentioned he needs a crew.
Yeah,
I am so curious to know who he brings in, or who joins that crew, and do we see his wife part of the crew?
I didn't even think about that.
In some capacity.
That is a great call, actually.
My bet and my guess is that we will see Samantha Irvin in AEW. Joe, what do you think? Is that a hot take or no?
I actually love that idea. And you could bring her in as like a manager.
Exactly.
Because that's what her big complaint in WWE, that she wanted to do more. And it seems like she has acting chops. You know, she does her music videos and all this stuff. So yeah, give her a shot. Hell yeah. And why not? You know, she seems like she loves the business. She grew up a fan, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, throw her in there. I could see her being a talking manager for Ricochet and his crew. So when he did mention crew, I was wondering, was he talking about crew specifically? Because you know, what's it called? What are their names? Action Andretti and Leo Rush. They go by the name crew. So I'm like, it kind of makes sense because, and this is why the crew, they're I don't even know what's going on with them. They're not great on the mic. No one takes them serious. They're very. They almost seem like they're bad at their jobs.
Bad at the job, Joe.
So why not put them, since they're heels, with the best heel you have right now? Put these guys who are kind of just, you know, drifting, throw them with Ricochet.
Maybe get the rub from Ricochet.
And what I hope happens, I was thinking about this yesterday when he said it. I was like, he keeps talking about he needs a crew. And then if he joins the crew, what if he makes them shave their heads and join them and being bald? Tell me that would have been a great story right there. You got these two dudes with they both have like curly flows. I think Leo Rush has like dreads sometimes. Yeah, just be like, if you want to be my crew, you gotta shave your head, and they do it. It's almost stealing the Straight Edge Society CM Punk story, but flipping it on his head and just being like, no, we love being bald or whatever. Like,
I love it.
Yeah, and you throw Samantha Irvin there as a manager, that's pretty good TV right there.
I love it. If Ricochet came to me and I'm Tony Khan and you came up with that idea, do it tonight. We're going to do that tonight. Like, that's an easy yes. I think he needs a heavy, though. I think he needs a muscle. I think he needs muscle. Crew's tiny. They're a tag team. They could be like the slimy, you know, kind of cheaters or whatever you want to make them in the group. Not much muscle. They need muscle. He needs muscle.
Yeah, I'm trying to think like who it could be though. Like, there's not much muscle around in AEW when you really think of it. Like, it's not. So that's unless you bring Wardlow out of wherever the hell Wardlow is at. I haven't seen Wardlow in a minute.
I was literally just thinking Wardlow.
Yo, you bring Wardlow back with a shaved head? That might be.
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad. Listen. I'm with it. I am with it.
That's it. Tony Khan, book it.
Book it. That's it. I love it. I love it. So let's keep an eye out what Ricochet does these next few weeks.
Yeah.
In terms of his crew, who he's bringing in.
I also do love that all the AEW wrestlers are starting to understand, like, oh shit, I need a crew. So you got MJF running and trying to join the Her Syndicate, finally gets to join it, and right away his promo, it's like, I'm getting my Triple B back. He's like, oh, this is why you really wanted to join the Her Syndicate. It's because you need some muscle to take out the rest of the Death Riders.
But it makes sense. Yeah, see, that's the story, right? Like, it makes sense for an MJF to do that.
Exactly. And now you got Ricochet doing the same. He's like, oh shit, everybody has a crew. I need a crew. He needs a crew. Perfect storytelling right there.
I'm not mad at it. Oh man. Well, we shall see. Double or Nothing. Joe gives it a B plus to an A minus.
Yeah.
B plus to an A minus. I'm around like a B plus since I only saw half of it, so I'm at a solid B plus. Probably be an A minus.
Once you watch that main event, you're gonna be like, oh yeah, A.
It'll probably jump to like an A minus, whatever. But that's AEW, y'all. So let's give it up. AEW doing their thing. They're finding their way. Will Ospreay said it best on Dynamite. They're starting to believe in us again, bro. They're starting to believe in us again, which is great. But now let's get into a little WWE. Saturday night's main event was a skippable show. It was okay. I didn't love all of it. I thought it was a waste of some time of the folks that paid all that money to be in the arena. The show ran like an hour and 35 minutes. How the bleep do you charge $300 whatever dollars for an hour and a half show, which wasn't even that great?
Yeah.
You get John Cena and you know, the national treasure of Ron Killings, R-Truth, in a silly kind of one-off trash match that even Cena himself didn't look good in the match. Like, Cena looks like he's lost like 4 steps. Yeah. Like, he looks lost in the ring. He almost looks like it's on autopilot for him. Like, it's not even it's not even something that's serious for him. And then just, I don't know, Joe. Like, it just, out of all the shows this weekend, that was the show I could have probably not have watched. I could have skipped it. And Drew McIntyre probably taking some time off, the rumor is, and that's why they kind of that concerto to the dome, and he's out.
Yeah. I
don't know. I just didn't love it. I didn't love the show. The best thing about the show was seeing Bronson Reed come back.
Yeah, that was cool.
And join the Heyman crew. Was it the High Rise? Is that what it's called?
They have a name now?
I think the name is High Rise.
Oh,
the High Rise. Unless I'm making that up. I saw it on the internet.
Oh, I don't know. They didn't say anything. I don't think they said anything on Raw about a name.
I thought someone said that he said a name on Raw. So now I'm confused. I might have just made that up.
Or maybe they said it and I just didn't realize that that's the name.
That was the name.
Because that sounds, what the hell is High Rise?
Yeah, the High Rise? I don't know. It just sounds a little weird. But Bronson's back. Looks good. I like the look of the group.
Yeah.
It's solid. I don't know. Joe, what did you think of the show, man? Am I tripping?
The show was okay. I would say, I think we all have to take a step back and realize that this is what Saturday Night Main Event is. I think this is just what it is. It's a show for very casuals. Like, this is an NBC show.
Right.
The whole point of this show is to try to retain some casual eyes. Mm-hmm. Whoever might be stumbling on the channels and realize, oh shit, there's wrestling on. And then maybe that person ends up watching Monday Night Raw the next Monday. And that's what they want. I get that. But at the same time, it's like you said, you're trading in that casual eye instead of rewarding your loyal fans. And this is what keeps, like, this is the theme that we've been talking about for some weeks now on the show, where it's just like, you're going to end up isolating the people who have supported you for 30, 40 years at this point, because people aren't going to be able to afford these tickets, and you're giving them less and you're charging them more.
Yep.
So eventually there's going to be a point of no return, and we're going to see something where people are just going to be like, you know what, I'm not even going to go to that show. It's not worth it. And I don't know what that line is, but I feel like they're very close to it. They're on very that thin line. And we heard the reports, I think it was this past week, they just decided WrestleMania is not in New Orleans anymore. The rumor is they're going back to Vegas again. Oh my God. So I'm like, is this going to be a theme here? Are we going to see TKO now that they're the owners? Are they pulling some strings way too much? You know, TKO is known for UFC. UFC loves Vegas. Mm-hmm. I wonder if they're like, yo, we're just going to put this in Vegas every year, whatever. Like, who knows? Like, at this point. So it's like, I wonder what's going to happen what's going to be the final straw where fans are like, you know what, we're getting shit and they're telling us it's fucking steak. Yeah. Like, because like at this point, like you said, an hour and a half show, all these commercials, watching the show live wasn't a great experience, because you're watching a cage match, and in the middle of a cage match, they just go straight to commercial. I'm like, nah, come on.
Yeah,
God.
Dude.
You know what it is? I think with the Saturday show, you expect almost a pay-per-view. You almost expect like, okay, it's going to be straight wrestling, you know, not many commercial breaks. And it's not that. It's almost like a lesser episode of Raw. Like, that's what it feels like. And I don't know. Yeah, it didn't really hit for me. You know, there was some storyline beats that happened. We had the return of Bronson Reed, like you said. We had Logan Paul and John Cena alliance, it seems like, which is funny, because I think this is because the John Cena experiment is failing and they need someone to give him some heat. And it's so funny that they're putting Logan Paul with him. It's like, damn, that, in my opinion, that seems like a failure of a storyline by WWE. Dude. You have a layup of John Cena turning heel, what everybody in the world has wanted, every wrestling fan in the world has wanted.
Fumbling.
And this is
at the end zone. Fumbling.
And I get it's a meta story because you don't want the fans to cheer him for being a cool heel, whatever, but this is trash. Straight trash. And it's honestly almost making his legacy worse, John Cena. And I don't know if that's the point of this. He's ruining wrestling, I guess. But I don't know, man. Yeah. It's just another one of those things where it's like, when is this John Cena story actually gonna pick up? It feels like it's just dead in the water at this point. Even with the R-Truth match, I'm like, okay, maybe he just goes full blown heel and beats the crap out of R-Truth, makes him bloody, do something. Mm-hmm. No, he just cheats to win again. Why do you need to cheat to beat R-Truth? Like,
True.
like, what's going on here? I get it. You're a heel. You're gonna do dastardly things, but it's not believable at this point. Like, John Cena needed to. John Cena, who's literally your Superman, has to cheat to beat R-Truth. Like,
Right.
what's going on here?
It doesn't make sense, bro.
It just doesn't make sense anymore.
That's
I
why I
don't know what's
hated
going
everything
on.
about it.
Yeah.
And I hate this John Cena run. I don't know, man. You know how I feel about this, Joe.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say.
At this point. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just whack. It's whack to me. And it's just not. It's not hitting for me. I don't know. And Saturday night's main event. I get what you're saying. It's an NBC show. It's made for the casual. They're trying to get those eyeballs that normally wouldn't watch to get maybe, hey, I might check out Raw maybe Monday, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I get it, but you're also crapping on the faces of the fans who have been loyal and want to see a little bit more.
Exactly.
But you're giving us 3 matches and $400 tickets. I don't know. And then another thing, Joe.
Yeah.
Another thing. They announced SmackDown will remain 3 hours for the foreseeable future.
I missed that. I didn't know that.
It's a big announcement today. SmackDown will remain 3 hours for the foreseeable future. I'm going to be honest, not that big of a deal in terms of, since Raw runs about 2 hours and they've been solid at 2 hours and 15, 2 hours and 30 minutes. 3 hours for SmackDown. And to be honest, I don't even catch SmackDown live, so I'm kind of scrolling through it anyway. I don't know. Who cares? We've lived through the 3 hours. I guess it's not that big of a deal anymore. What's your thoughts, man?
Yeah, honestly, I'm not that mad at it just because SmackDown low key has been kind of cooking. Like,
yeah,
they have the way better in-ring talent on SmackDown. Just looking at the SmackDown tag team division, incredible right now, on fire. After that TLC match on SmackDown after WrestleMania, you got Street Profits, you got Fraxium, you got DIY, you got Motor City Machine Guns. Now you got the YS6 that came back on SmackDown, and they threw themselves into the tag team division, it seems like. And then on the mid-card side, you got Jacob Fatu as your champion. You got Drew McIntyre, Damian Priest. Like, you got workers like Jeff Cobb there now. You got Andrade, Mello. Like, all these guys could work, and they're probably some of the best wrestlers in WWE. So that's the good thing about SmackDown. And it seems like the in-ring work has gotten a lot better on SmackDown lately. It seems like they're trying to make SmackDown like the work rate show, almost like back in the day when the SmackDown 6, like with Eddie Guerrero and Rey Mysterio and Edge and, and all those guys just kind of made it to be like, we're going to be the best show, wrestling wise. It kind of seems like that's what they're doing on SmackDown. So I'm not mad at that part. The 3 hours thing, it kind of just goes to this whole thing of like the oversaturation of WWE right now. There is way too much.
There's a lot of stuff going on, bro.
Like, if you are a super fan, like you're trying to catch everything that's happening, it's impossible. Like, you got all these reality shows, you got what's it called, LFG, you got Evolve, you got NXT, you got SmackDown 3 hours, you got Raw, you got Saturday main event basically once a month, you got a pay-per-view like every 2 weeks, it seems like. Money in the Bank is next week. Money in the Bank is next week. Like, it's like very oversaturated right now. I don't know if that's a good thing. It seems like it almost doesn't give them time to really flesh out these stories. And that might be why we're just like disappointed in like this John Cena story. Like, it seems like when something's like about to heat up, it's like, oh, there's a pay-per-view coming up. So we kind of have to pause because a pay-per-view is coming up. So it's like, it's almost like, I get it. They're making the most money they ever made and stuff, but like, there's going to be a point where it's like, there's way too much WWE going on right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in WWE.
And it might be now already. Like, if you think about it, like Money in the Bank's already coming up. It seems like, and that's the thing too, when you have Money in the Bank coming up, now every Raw and SmackDown is about qualifying for Money in the Bank. So your storylines take a pause almost because you got to have these qualifying matches. So it's like, there's no real rhythm. It's like they can't even get to a flow of things because it's like, oh yeah, we got Saturday night. And then they're doing this thing where they're just deciding to like make weekends out of everything. So it's like, not only will there be a Saturday main event, but there'll also be an NXT. There'll also be the Raw and SmackDown and everything else in that same city. And we already seen that they had to go back and move, what was it? I think in Vegas they were supposed to do NXT, their regular NXT taping after, and they ended up having to move
they
to a
canceled
smaller
it.
arena. Yeah. And they ended up having to. Oh no, it was in Tampa for this week's
Tampa.
Saturday night. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they were supposed to do regular NXT TV, and they ended up having to move it because nobody bought tickets because you got 4 shows in a weekend, man. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly.
You're bugging out. Not every weekend could be WrestleMania.
Yeah.
They bug it out, man.
Well, listen, man. They're also they're doing this during All In weekend.
Yes,
they are infiltrating. They're going. This is full war right now. This is like
they're not even being like
they're not. This is not like
they're not being cute about it anymore.
No. This is. We're gonna come. We're gonna attack you. We're going straight at you, and we're gonna bring down your biggest show. So what you got? Me personally, I think Tony Khan can win this weekend easily. I think if he books the hell out of All In, and right now, that Mercedes Toni Storm could possibly main event, in my opinion. Could possibly main event. I think that we don't know the card, of course, but I am guessing it's going to be massive. We're talking possibly 5-6 hours of just straight wrestling. But WWE is like, yo, we're gonna go right into your weekend.
Yeah. So what
I don't mind it. I think it's it's ballsy. But I like the competition aspect of it. I don't know. Would you lie with it?
Yeah. So if I'm correct, they ended up booking Evolution for that Sunday.
Evolution. Yep.
All In is on Saturday, right?
All In's on Saturday. Yeah, the 12th.
Yeah,
yep, Saturday.
So then they ended up putting a Saturday night main event at the same time. And
the same time.
No, and then what happened, Tony Khan moved the time because I guess he knew that this was happening. He must have gotten word. He moved it earlier. And then they threw in an NXT Great American Bash early. So they're not playing fair at all.
No, this is war.
Because literally, I remember Lewis bringing up to us because he's going to All In, so he's probably getting email alerts or whatever. And I remember he brought it up to us like, oh, they moved the show earlier for some reason. And we were all like, oh yeah, that's weird. And now it kind of makes sense. Tony Khan must have had word that they're trying to book Saturday Night Main Event. So he's like, oh, you know what? You want to do that? I'm gonna put my show earlier. Crazy. And then Triple H is like, you know what? We're gonna put NXT.
They're gonna add NXT to the
it's crazy, man. That's warfare right now.
It's warfare.
Straight up warfare.
Yeah, it's warfare.
It is interesting because it almost feels like you are kind of setting up NXT to fail a little bit, in my opinion. And maybe it's a strategy where it's like it's okay. In their eyes, it's like, okay, if All In sells more or has more viewers than NXT, then we could always just be like, oh yeah, that was development. That's our developmental brand anyway.
Right.
But like, if you were to put like an actual Raw or SmackDown pay-per-view there and AEW beats you, now that's a huge storyline right there. AEW beats whatever. So I get the strategy of like, let's throw our little developmental out there against them. And if we end up beating them, we could tout that our developmental beat your biggest show. If we don't, then we could just be like, oh yeah, it was just developmental. We didn't expect it to beat you. So that's a good little strategy by Triple H and the crew.
Yeah, it protects them a little bit.
Yeah, but I do see this. I see this kind of backfiring on WWE because
same.
This date has been set for a long time for All In. They've been pushing this Texas show for a long time. It's a stadium show, so you already know they're going to have a huge audience. Even if it's not filled out, you're going to have at least probably 20,000-30,000 people there.
Yeah,
so
easy.
Compared to Evolution, which is an all-women show, and then Saturday Main Event, which we're already seeing, fans are like, is it worth watching? It's like you're kind of setting yourself up for failure in a sense, but it's almost like they're so greedy that they don't care as long as they could pull a little bit of people away.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? We're going to pull away a little bit of people from you, screw you over just a little bit, and there's nothing you can really do about it because we're the biggest company in the world. Like, it's very dirty, but I do like the competition aspect of it, and we'll see what maybe Tony Khan retaliates. We don't know. Maybe he finds a way to do something.
I think Tony needs to retaliate hard with this.
What could he do? Book a show against WrestleMania?
I don't know, man. He could put a show against WrestleMania. Oof.
You know what I would do if I was
man?
I would double down on being like the best small venue show, and like WrestleMania just book like the most incredible small venue show like get as many legends that you can from New Japan and just be like, yo, this is gonna be an all-star type of match, but it's gonna be intimate. Put that against WrestleMania, and you might not, obviously you're gonna have a smaller crowd, but people might come out of that weekend being like, yo, that was the best show of the weekend. Maybe you do something like that, because it's almost like they're fighting two different battles, because there's no way Tony Khan could ever surpass him in viewership right now,
Right.
or money wise, the revenue coming in, WWE's killing it, obviously. But maybe you fight that battle of like, we might not be the biggest, but you're gonna have way more fun when you come to see us, type thing. That's the only thing you could really do, kind of.
That's their lane. That's the only thing they could do, man.
Yeah.
Oof. We'll see. I have faith in AEW and All In that weekend. I think they will obviously be the better show. I don't even need to see the card. I just know All In is going to be the better show. It's just, WWE is trying to, if like you said, if they could just pull a little bit.
Actually, today too, I saw a report because AEW is doing the residency in ECW Arena.
Mm-hmm.
And then just so happens NXT is doing a taping the week before the residency started.
Yeah,
and they announced it today. I'm like, oh man, these guys are not playing fair at all.
Yeah, man. It's like wherever you go, we may be right down the block.
Yeah.
So
perfect segue, actually. Double or Nothing was going head to head against Battleground.
Yes, that's a good segue. Speaking of Battleground was good. Battleground was better than Saturday night's main event, I'll tell you. And Battleground, we ended up having this. Your boy Trick Williams.
Trick Willie.
Beats. Which by the way, I've grown to really like Trick Williams now. I think he's got charisma. He's not the greatest in the ring, but the mic stuff, the charisma, the look, the attitude is all there.
Yeah.
The ring is it's serviceable. We could get something out of that. But the fact that he beats the TNA World Champ on WWE television,
it's pretty crazy.
Takes your main event guy, Joe Hendry, who I do not believe. I ain't a believer. And beats him. That conversation between WWE and TNA had to be like, yo, listen, we want, if we do this for you, WWE, we want something big. Like we want something big.
Yeah.
Your guy beats our guy on your television. The deal better be crazy, or this doesn't look, it just kind of looks terrible for TNA. But what a moment.
Yeah.
Joe Hendry. I'm sorry. I don't see what the hype is about. Your boy is a few months away from never being seen again. Like no one caring. The song is what keeps him relevant. That's honestly what it is.
I don't know, man. I wouldn't say I'm a believer, but I don't even get the hype. It's almost like Jey Uso when he first came out with the Yeet and all this stuff, and I was just like, I don't understand this, but whatever. But he has a connection with the crowd. It's undeniable at this point.
Is it the song, Joe?
It might be the song. It might be the song, but as you can see with a lot of wrestlers nowadays, sometimes the song is all you need, man. You got Jey Uso, his whole thing is just his entrance and his yeet. You got Cody Rhodes with the whoa, the crowd goes crazy. You got Seth Rollins still getting babyface cheers and singing along, even though he's a heel right now because of his Burn It Down song, and CM Punk with obviously one of the crowd's favorite songs. So sometimes all you need is a good song, and then
Joe, you named build around that. Top guys though. Joe Hendry ain't a top guy. I'm sorry.
He's not a top guy yet, but I could totally see WWE, if he becomes a WWE superstar, which I think he definitely will be at this point. It's basically like they're just waiting for TNA's contract to run out. He's going to be the top star in NXT right away. Like, it's just because he's so popular. Like, and I think what it is he has a way to catch the casual eye. I don't know what it is. I have no clue. I'm a lifelong wrestling fan, so I don't get it. But I was watching WrestleMania with my wife, And the only time she paid attention was when Joe Hendry came out, and she was like, "Who's this? This is funny." Just because he did his little head turn. She's actually, her exact words were, "Who's this diva?" She was like, "Who's this diva?" And then she right away sent the picture to like her best friend. It was like, "Look at this. Who's this diva?" And now her whole TikTok algorithms is people doing the Joe Hendry thing, all that. Funny enough, actually, last week I told her the whole concept of our top 10 favorite wrestlers episode and all that. And then she was like, "Oh, my top 10." And she starts listing, and she put Joe Hendry.
Joe Hendry.
She put Samoa Joe number 2. I don't know why. That one threw me off. I was like, how do you even know Samoa Joe? And then her third one was Shinsuke Nakamura, but the way she spelled it was the funniest thing ever. She spelled it out like very phonetically, so it was like Shinsuke Naka. Like it was 4 words.
Yo, you know what would be good if we got the wives to give us their top 10s, just based on what they know currently.
Just based off like all the shit that we talked their ear off.
Yep, just based on that, and just to see the list they would come up with. That'd be that would be hilarious. We gotta talk about that. That'd be hilarious.
That's a good like TikTok right there.
That's TikTok right there. That'd be hilarious.
But yeah, there's something about Joe Hendry. I don't know what it is, but he catches the casual eye. And I think WWE sees that. I think WWE sees that, and they're gonna, if he ever becomes an official WWE superstar, they're gonna strap a rocket to this guy, and they're just gonna sell a bunch of merch. Every city's gonna have a Joe Hendry specific T-shirt. I already see it, man. I see the vision. I see WWE's literally waiting with the $ eyes, waiting for his contract to run out.
Is this TNA WWE deal? Like, hey, whoever contract expires, come on over to WWE. Like, is it? What is TNA getting out of this?
Yeah,
they lost Jordan Grace.
Yeah,
right.
I've been thinking about this too, because I remember when this WWE TNA agreement, whatever you want to call it, came out. A lot of people were saying like, "Oh, it's going to be so much better than the AEW TNA collaboration that they did during the pandemic." And it's like, is it? Has it? Because it kind of seems exactly the same. Because I remember the big thing was like, oh, Kenny Omega just won the belt, and then he actually ended up losing the belt on AEW television, so it didn't do anything for us or whatever. And right now it's the same exact thing. Trick Williams just won the belt on a NXT show, not a TNA show. You didn't get any eyes from that. Right. Maybe people go in and tune in on TNA, but TNA is like on YouTube or something. Like it's not even like ratings really matter for that type of show. So like, what are they really gaining out of this? I mean, I guess it's like the talent exchange. You do get some NXT wrestlers every now and then, but like they haven't even given them like an actual WWE superstar. It's only been developmental. You got AJ Styles, who's a TNA legend. You can't have him show up, do something. Like it seems like nothing is going for TNA in this partnership at all. So I really wonder if it's basically WWE being like, yo, we're gonna buy you out, basically. At this point, it might be on some old school. Remember when back in the day, WWE was kind of feeding ECW under the table just because it was like, hey, we'd rather have you on our side than WCW side. It might be something like that, where it's like, hey, we're just gonna keep you afloat. TNA, we could tell that you guys are losing money. We'll feed you guys some money, but we basically get control out of everything. It might be what it is, because it seems like that for me.
I wouldn't be surprised if,
because you're right. They got Jordan Grace. They're definitely going to get Joe Hendry. It's like basically a signed deal.
Joe Hendry. Yeah.
I don't even know who else you want to
took their world title off their television.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, it is interesting. It's cool to see another company's title defended on WWE television and a WWE wrestler winning it. That's something that you would have told me 10 years ago, I would have never believed. So that's a cool part of it. But I just don't. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know what TNA is actually gaining out of this.
I don't know, man. But we shall see. Now, listen, Battleground was pretty solid. I watched the whole PLE. Match of the night was probably Kalani Jordan and Sol Ruka, who brought down the house. Sol Ruka delivered
that soul snatcher,
shattering. Soul snatcher, and good for big up to Kalani Jordan for a second. Kalani, I thought Kalani was going through bots that move because she looked mad far, bro. I don't know if you saw it. She looked far.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time Soul was in the air, Kalani was able to get herself closer.
Yeah.
So it looked like it was like she
It
landed
was very natural
the Soul
looking.
Snatcher.
Yeah.
Kalani could have been real bad. It could have been catching her forehead or something like it. That's how far back she caught it all. And it looked great. The match was solid. Those two really delivered. Soul Ruka's extremely athletic.
Mm-hmm.
So is Kalani.
Yeah.
Those two are probably the next crew after the crew that's about to get called up, which is Stephanie and possibly Lola Vice getting called up. That probably Kalani and Soul are probably in that next group to get that call. They're pretty good. And they keep getting better. Kalani has consistently gotten better. But overall, as a PLE, I thought it was solid. Nothing really super stood out except for the TNA win by Trick Williams. But overall, what were your thoughts? Anything stood out to you about Battleground?
Yeah. I gotta be honest. I watched the Soul Ruka Kalani match, which was the first match, I believe.
Yeah, first match.
And I thought that match was incredible. The timing on that spot, incredible. I know they must have practiced that a million times because that was so beautiful. Honestly, it was one of the coolest looking spots I've ever seen.
Yeah.
For the timing wise, everything. It looked for something that's so unnatural, it looked natural, right, which is really cool. The next match after that, I believe, was Sean Spears' crew versus Hank and Tank and some other guy. And I was just like, I started watching it and I was like, man, what am I doing watching this bullshit? I'm like, why am I watching this bullshit? I watched way too much wrestling this weekend. I'm shutting this off, and I just never went back to the show.
Oh, so I
never went back, so I can't even grade it. I saw the clips of Trick William winning. I saw Stephanie Vaquer. I heard the Stephanie Vaquer match was pretty good.
Yeah,
against Jordan Grace,
pretty good.
But I was like, I don't care enough about NXT. I don't watch it week to week anymore. So I was like, I'm okay just catching the clips on this one. So yeah, I can't even grade it, but from what I heard it's a good show. So
yeah, I'm a little different. I actually like to catch NXT because NXT is that show where the TNA town is what's coming in. You know, you had Mike Santana on the show on NXT television. And that was cool. NXT this week was crazy. I mean, Stephanie Vaquer dropping the title to JC Jane kind of out of nowhere.
I saw that headline and I was like, what? JC Jane?
I don't hate it though. Because it makes, if you're going to do anything like that, do it on NXT. You know what I'm saying? Experiment. Yeah. These are the people who you are trying to call up. You want to see what they got. I wasn't mad at it. Stephanie's coming up anyway. Yeah. Lola Vice rumored to be coming up as well.
I heard Jordan Grace is rumored to come up.
Jordan Grace coming up. Makes no sense for them to stay down there. They're done. Yeah. They're too big. Let them come up. And then now have this new crop. JC Jane holding the title. I like the little crew she's got. Maybe there's some infighting. They're good on the mic and on screen or whatnot. I like it. And then that Miles Bourne, is that his name? Randy Orton 1.0.
Yeah, everybody's falling in love with this dude.
Homeboy's not bad.
Yeah.
He was good.
I got to watch that match.
He was good. He was good. He was good. The kid can go. He can wrestle. He's got the crowd. He's decent on the mic. The disability also kind of helps because he reaches another type of audience. Yeah, dude, he's pretty solid. Obafemi probably coming up as well. He's got to be done. He's got to drop that title sometime soon. Yeah, man, and I enjoy that NXT show, man. I think exciting things happen on there, and you never know where they're going to go with it.
You know what it is? I might just have to skip that Hank and Tank match, man.
Yeah, skip the Hank and Tank match.
Because I was like, why am I watching this Sean Spears crew?
You always need one good, bad gimmick, though. Like the Hank and Tank, the Hong Kong kind of whatever.
I don't mind Hank and Tank, actually. They're actually pretty fun. But when I saw that it wasn't even a tag team title match, it's just like a random 3-on-3. I was like, you know what? I could be doing better things with my time right now. And then I just never went back. I was like, oh shit, I forgot about it at this point.
Listen, man, I get it. But Joel, anything else? Anything else we want to hit on?
There was the Ricky Saints lost the title as well, right?
Ricky Saints,
Yeah,
lost
that's
the
an interesting
title.
one.
I think they're getting ready to have him go against Oba for the heavyweight championship.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Again, you gotta transition these guys, and it's kind of abrupt, but because Ricky, it feels like Ricky literally just got that title. But what they're doing with Ethan Page being kind of like that heel guy that's obsessed with this North American Championship, I like it. It just works. It works. And Ricky, Ricky's cool. He's all right. He's all right. So I will see what they do with him.
Is it time to have a conversation about Ricky Saints? Is it time to
what?
have the conversation that everybody thought he was going to be the second coming of The Rock? Everybody thought he was going to show up in NXT and all of a sudden be the biggest superstar. Tony Khan was holding him back. All this talk. Is it time to have the conversation that what's in your opinion, what's his ceiling right now? I don't see him ever being a main roster guy.
He will be a main roster guy because he's got charisma. Like there's something about him that they could throw on national television and maybe get some eyeballs because you're like, who's this outspoken, energetic kind of energy, this guy? Who's this guy? And he's good looking guy. Like, I think they'll put him on television for those reasons. Now, will he last and sustain a while on television, on the main roster? I don't think we're going to see him long on that main roster, to tell you the truth. I think he's going to get swallowed by all the talent around him. I don't think he's super great in the ring as it is. I think he's just okay. He feels like a guy who just came out of wrestling school in some aspects, and that's not even a hit. I'm not trying to say it. Just sometimes it looks like he's still a student, not a master yet. Yeah, I think they're going to push him on that main roster because they have to, because of what they've invested, because of what they want to show AEW. This is what you missed out of. This is what we did with your guy, similar to what they did with Jade. This is what we did with your guy. And then I think it fizzles out. I think it doesn't. I don't think he touches a World Heavyweight Championship on the main roster. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I think he wins it in NXT. But I do not think he touches that a World Heavyweight Championship on the main roster. I think the U.S. title or the Intercontinental Championship is his ceiling.
Yeah. If
he gets to that.
Yeah, I almost feel like when you look at Ricky Saints, and then you look at your main roster talent, it's like if I'm Triple H or whoever's making this decision, I'm thinking, what can you do that Austin Theory can't do? What can you do that Grayson Waller can't do? And if you really think about it,
not much.
Quiet as kept, there's not much. Like, yeah, maybe he's more charismatic than Austin Theory.
Just a little.
But athletic-wise, Austin Theory blows him out the water.
Yes, 100%.
I would even say look-wise, Austin Theory has the look. They just haven't pushed him. But I do see, the little storyline, him and Grayson Waller, they're picking it back up again. But that's what, I don't know. I look at Ricky Saints and I'm like, I think he's a lifetime NXT talent, honestly. Almost like Sean Spears, kind of.
Yeah, right. Sean's not coming up to the main
roster.
Him
down there and just be the veteran hand that helps the next wave of new guys. But he's also not the biggest guy. You put him up against like a Randy Orton, he's gonna look like a little kid.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I honestly do not see him in the main roster. Hopefully they prove me wrong. I'm a fan of Ricky Saints. I think he does have talent, but right now, as he's being portrayed in NXT and what I've seen throughout his whole career, I just don't see him on main WWE television. Hopefully they prove me wrong, but I do not see it right now.
And Joe, I don't even fully disagree with you, but I think just because of the acquisition of getting him and all the other things they probably see that they can use aside from the wrestling or whatnot, I think he makes it to the main roster. I just don't think he becomes a big star on the main roster. I think he gets swallowed up by everyone around him. And like you said, there's just some guys on that main roster that will make him look like Adam Cole in some cases. Like you, like him against Randy, that's a horrible look. I wouldn't even do that to Ricky if I was a booker or like a man. I wouldn't even do that. That's me squashing you. That's me at some point saying you will be future endeavored. Like I'm just saying, we're gonna put you. Good luck.
This is your last step. Let's see how you look against Randy. If you don't, let's see good, how you look against
Randy. Yeah, like come on, man. That I wouldn't even do that to him. But Ricky, Ricky right now he's not hitting for me. To be fair, he never hit for me. Actually, I thought he was always just mid, and not in a like bad way. Just like that's where you at. That's where you live. You live here. I can't put you here because I just don't believe. Not yet. Not yet.
Quietly too, it seems like NXT North American Championship has become like the AEW Championship, like because we got Ricky Starks, Ethan Page, Sean Spears. They just give it whoever comes over from AEW, you become a North American champion.
Yep, that's part of the contract. You leave AEW, you want to sign with us. We got this North American Championship for you on NXT. 3-month reign.
Yeah, hold this for a little bit.
hold it. Yeah, you can hold this a little bit. We go from there. Yeah. That's kind of what it seems like.
That's funny.
It's kind of what it seems like, man. Anything else, Joe? Anything else? Did we miss anything?
No, man. Wrestling, a lot of wrestling going on. A lot of good wrestling going on. Yeah, man. Just hopefully the pace keeps up with AEW, like you said.
Gotta keep it going, AEW.
I am a little worried about we have like 45 days until All In, so hopefully they're able to.
That sounds like forever that you just said.
The one good thing they have going for them that's over WWE is that they don't have any part-timers really. So at least we will get week to week, storyline beats. Not like John Cena and Cody where it was like 3 weeks and then he was gone for 10 weeks and all this other stuff.
Yeah. But yeah. We'll see, man. Well, AEW got to keep up this momentum, baby. We with you. We believe again. We believe again, man.
Like,
for a minute,
bruv.
We were about to do episodes on the who's going to buy him first. Like we were like, will it be WWE?
We were about to the death of AEW DVD.
We were waiting for it was not good. For a long stretch, we were talking like, I don't think this is gonna happen. This is not good. But y'all are turning around. You got to keep up with it, baby. We got to keep up with it. On the Mark Wrestling is with you guys. We believe. But yeah, y'all, thank y'all for joining us on episode 93. Joel and myself held it down. Lewis will be back next week with us. We'll talk more wrestling. We're gonna get that top 10 greatest women wrestlers of all time going.
Yes,
also,
sir.
we might get a good one, right? A dead week where we get the wives to give us their top 10 and see what the hell they write. I have a feeling my wife is going to write Junkyard Dog for some reason. I don't know why. Just have a feeling.
Because she's heard you talk about him.
She's probably said Junkyard Dog. Who's that guy? Like,
Quiet as kept. I don't know what it is about Samoa Joe, but I just remembered another thing. I have all these figures back here. I don't know if you could tell, but there's a bunch of wrestling figures here. Samoa Joe is one of the figures. And one day, my wife was in this room, and I was like, "Oh, who could you name?" The first one she names is Samoa Joe. I'm like, yo, he wasn't even that big in WWE. Like, I don't understand why she knows Samoa Joe so much. But
it's crazy because my wife knows Samoa Joe too.
Shout out,
she knows Samoa Joe. I guess it's the name. It's just a catchy, like, oh, that's Samoa Joe. Like, it just kind of, I don't know. Something about that Samoa Joe. I don't know. We got to ask Lewis. But
Samoa Joe got the Riz, yo. Samoa Joe got all our wives smitten, yeah.
Something about that Joe. I don't know. I don't know, man. Joe's doing his thing.
It just goes to show that Samoa Joe is the realest wrestler ever, basically.
Yes.
People believe
100%.
In him. Even people 100%. Who don't watch wrestling be like, yep, that guy's a wrestler right there.
Absolutely. But y'all, thank y'all for joining us on this episode. Follow us on all our social medias. Y'all know where y'all at. Thank you for the support, as always. I'm your boy Kayode, joined by none other than Joel. This is episode 93, y'all. Until next time, Peace.
You have just listened to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, a Scriptly adapted production. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube at On the Mark Wrestling. And email us on onthemarkpodcast@gmail.com.